Most High in Christ. Hey, Shalom. We the Isupk started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commanding General Yohana, I'm Priest and Officer Don Ya'ala. This is the Wednesday night law class. If you got any questions pertaining to the law, type them in. If not, we're gonna move on. With that being said, is there any questions in the class? Anybody got any questions? No question, Kaladaza? No, yeah, you ain't got no questions? All right. Any questions? Type them online. And with that being said, we just passed the Passover. It was glorious. It was wonderful. The Hebrew Academy brothers graduated. Get a Most High hand for that. Most High hand for the Passover. Brothers marched into there, and look, that was the best Hebrew Academy graduation I've seen so far. That was fire. That was fire. To see where y'all brothers came from, that made it even more better and more glorious to see the start. To see the start to finish. It was excellent. Now we are in the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So-called Easter passed, and now we're in the month of Ramadan, I believe. Right, in the month of Ramadan. Now, who knows anything about the month of Ramadan? Just like the basics. What's the basics on the month of Ramadan?
The Muslims fast around this month.
Mm-hmm. How do they fast?
From sundown.
Sun up to sundown. Yeah. No, it's sundown to sundown.
Yes.
So
6 o'clock.
Right. So when it's light outside, they can't eat. When it's dark, they can eat. For what? I think it lasts 30 days or something like that. Like 30 days, I believe. If I'm correct, type it in on the chat. It lasts 30 days, right? Now, is that fasting? What is fasting? Kaladazar?
Fasting is when you don't drink anything or eat anything from sundown to sundown.
What do the Bible call it? It's fasting, but in the Bible it calls it another term.
I know the idea of it is just to refuse, refuse your flesh.
Right, but it's a term for that they call it. It's a term. It's another word for refusing, or not refusing is.
What is it, self-affliction or something like that?
Afflicting your soul, right? Because that's real fasting. Fasting is giving up something that's going to hurt you, right? Like, for an example, you can't say to fast from water, right? Let's say if you just want to do a fast. That means whatever you're giving up has to hurt you, like in some way, like it has to hurt you. Like, and for the idea of Muslims to fast for 30 days or something like that, right? From sundown to sundown, the idea is a joke, and here's why. All right. The fasting in the Bible lasts 24 hours, 1 year. And no matter how many years, I've been in this truth for about, I want to say 10 years now. And I didn't fast it for 10 years. I didn't kept the Day of Atonement, right? It never gets easier. No matter how many times I kept it, it never gets easier. I know what to expect. I know what's going to happen. and it still kills me every year, right?
Right.
Now, that's like that for a reason. Muslims fast 30 days, their bodies is going to adapt to not eating for after what, 7 days? Your body adapt to it. And all Muslims are doing is what in the fitness world, anybody that know about fitness, all Muslims are doing is something that's called intermittent fasting, right? Whereas you don't eat or drink for a certain amount of hours of the day. So, for an example, if you're trying to reach a certain goal, you have to eat within 8 hours of the day. The other, 16 hours, you fast. You don't eat or drink anything.
Right.
And that's for sole purpose of, uh, uh, losing weight or something like that. So if you want to lose weight or reach a certain weight goal, cut back on calories, they call it intermittent fasting, meaning 8 hours out the day, I have to eat. I have to eat this much. The rest of the day, I cannot eat or drink. So for 8 hours, I'm eating and drinking. For 16 hours, I'm not doing nothing. It's called intermittent fasting. There are some people that do that easy. That's light work once you get past the first 7 days, right? 7 days, your body started adapting to it and doing it. So these Muslims fasting for 30 days, not eating sundown to sundown, it's not hurting them.
Right.
It's not, you not eating for 8 hours out the day is really, or let's say 12 hours out the day. That's really not doing nothing to you because your body don't start kicking in to starvation or survival mode until around that 20th hour of the day, depending on how you handle it. But 12 hours, your body is not going to kick into survival mode around that time. There's a certain limit to your body when it don't get food or water throughout the day, it starts to kick into survival mode, meaning now it starts to remind you, oh, I'm hungry, feed me, feed me, feed me, where you get that hungry feeling from. So, but after a while, your body get used to it. That's not fasting, giving up food and water and this is for the love of me, this is what I don't understand either. In the process, they can't listen to music. They can't like curse. They gotta greet a homeless person. They gotta. It's a whole list of things that they gotta do each day. Whereas I didn't see Muslims say, "Yo, Ramadan is like the hardest time of the year for me," and I'd be like, "Why?" Because I can't smoke. You can't smoke. Hell, you can't smoke for? Everything Islam forbids them to do that they do, they can't do it during the month of Ramadan. But when Ramadan is over, they can go back to smoking, drinking, doing whatever. Muslims not even supposed to be drinking.
Right.
They supposed to wait till paradise. Drinking in the Quran is a sin. But when you get to paradise, you get a lake for the liquor and wine, which is in the Quran. Drinking is a sin, but when you get to paradise, you get a lake full of wine and liquor. Well, why can I drink it in heaven but not here on earth?
Right.
If I drink it here on earth, I'm going to hell. But when I die, I could drink it. Just make it make sense. You can't smoke during the month of Ramadan, but you can smoke when it's not Ramadan because it's bad. You can't listen to rap music. Who know why they can't listen to rap music during the month of Ramadan?
Because what rap music is talking about today?
Because listening to rap music is a sin, whether it's Ramadan or not. Muslims not even supposed to be rappers. It's a sin. Any Muslim will tell you. Rapping is a sin. Listening to rapping is a sin. So yeah, technically is what it's talking about, it's a sin. Right? They can't listen to rap music because of what it talks about and because it's rap music. But the surah is if you ever hear how imams and all that read the Quran, they read it in a harmony fashion. the surah is read as if they have to sing it to you because they say music is the easiest way for you to remember things. So a person can write the surah from front, can recite the surah from front to back because they sing it, and that's the melody. But you can't listen to rap music though. I don't get it. They harmonize it, but you can't listen to. So I can't listen to a rap song that's talk about killing, shooting, and all that. What about the song of the singer that's talking about it? He's just singing it. What about the singer that's talking about sleeping with someone else's woman because he deserves her? I can listen to that. It don't make no sense. None of that is fast. And Salak, you had your hand up?
Come on, sir. I got a question from my phone. And the sister is asking, what is a vagabond Jew?
A vagabond Jew is a Jew that don't have no home, like a homeless person, a homeless Jew. Like so-called Israelite camps will be considered vagabond Jews. Like this is the home of the truth. So this is in this term. This is the home of the truth. Everybody outside of here is vagabond Jews. Or a vagabond Jew is a literal homeless person. Like this is a person that's homeless. His family don't got no inheritance. His family don't got no land. If you ask him where he live or where he from, he don't even know. He can't even tell you because his dad wasn't nothing, his mom wasn't nothing, his great grandfather and all that wasn't nothing. So he have nowhere to live or anything, so he roamed the streets.
Right.
Like it talks about, I believe in the book of Acts where it mentioned the vagabond Jews, they beat the hell out them brothers that was out there preaching the word of Christ. They was approached by vagabond Jews that had demons on them. A vagabond is a homeless person. So like a person with nowhere to live and that. Go ahead.
All right, so the next question is kind of related to the first question. Is what is the difference in a vagabond Jew and a Gentile?
A Gentile is a heathen. A vagabond Jew is just a Jew with nowhere to live. Don't got his heritage. Now it depends on now. Of course, we know that Gentiles can be Jews, right? Meaning a Gentile in the Old Testament is, okay, if we could get the Bible dictionary too, we could read it because it'll explain it better, right? So a Gentile is a Jew that took on the customs of a heathen. In the Old Testament, Gentiles was a heathen of another nation. But we act like the heathen so much, they considered us Gentiles. You can't be a Jew if you acting like a heathen, meaning you keeping the customs, traditions, and you doing everything these heathens do. So everything a Gentile do, you do. You can't be considered an Israelite. You're a goddamn heathen. You're a goddamn Gentile, right? So what other term that was like that? Like, hold on. I to better explain it, let me get this precept real quick. All right, so read that. The Gentile.
This is in the Zondervan Bible Compact. This is the Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary. This is the word Gentiles, page 195. Gentiles. Usually it means a non-Israelite people.
It say what?
Usually it means a non-Israelite people.
Usually it means a non-Israelite people. Why is it saying usually it means a non-Israelite people? Usually means what? At one time, it meant a non-Israelite. Why is it saying usually? Read on.
Usually it means a non-Israelite people. Under conditions of peace, considerate treatment was accorded Gentiles by the Israelites under Old Testament law.
Now, people was considered Gentiles under Old Testament laws. Usually it means, a heathen. And Israelites considered you a Gentile based off of Old Testament laws. Read on.
Men of Israel often married Gentile women.
Men of Israel married heathen women, Gentile women, which we couldn't do. Read.
Of whom Rahab, Ruth, and Bathsheba are notable examples.
Now, Ruth was not a heathen, but Sheba was a heathen. And of course, they think Ruth was a heathen because she was from Moab. She was just born there. But read on.
But the practice was frowned upon after the return from exile.
But the practice of sleeping with heathen women was frowned upon after the Exodus happened. Right? You go answer the door, and while you doing that, I'm gonna pull up this other stuff, and then we could get back to that. So after when the Exodus happened, right? When they came out the wilderness, sleeping with heathen women was frowned upon. Why is that? Because when they came out the wilderness, what did Moses see? Hey, shalom, sis. What's going on? So, hold on. So, read that last part.
Men of Israel often married Gentile women, of whom Rahab, Ruth, and Bathsheba are notable examples. But the practice was frowned upon after the return from exile.
So after the return from exile, after the return of the Exodus, it was frowned upon, right? Because, of course, coming out the wilderness, leaving Egypt, you took your family with you, whether your wife was a heathen or not. It was heathens in the wilderness because they was married to Israelites. Husband was a heathen, he was in the wilderness. Your wife was a heathen, he was in the wilderness. But then they started looking at that like, yo, this is not right. Read on.
Separation between Jew and Gentile became more strict until in the New Testament period, the hostility is complete.
Now, the separation became more strict until the New Testament, meaning at one point in time, a Jew and a Gentile was different. It was real strict on what a Jew and a Gentile was until the New Testament came. Why? Because when the New Testament came, Jews was acting like Gentiles. So by the time, the New Testament arrived, Christ and Matthew and all of them arrived, they looking like, I can't tell a difference. How you sure you a Jew acting like that? Like, remember, it was brothers that grew up in the land and kept the law, and they was looking at brothers who didn't keep the law like, oh, you ain't even circumcised. You can't be a Jew. How you a Jew when you ain't circumcised? Right. Your mom was what? Your dad was who? You can't be a Jew because that's against the law. Go ahead.
Brother, his name is Brother in class.
Mm-hmm.
He said the other word that can fit would be uncircumcised.
Mm-hmm.
As some Jews that were under the law were supposed to try. And then he says, practice circumcision.
Right. So a lot of this stuff that we wasn't keeping was frowned upon. So they started to look at like, okay, y'all Jews by birth, but y'all really Gentiles because how y'all acting. That's like when Benjamite brothers come over here from the Jamaican islands or whatnot. We black just like them, and they know that, and they still call us words like Yankees and all that, and got their own term for us.
Right.
Like a Jamaican that's born in America would never get accepted over there if they go, visit their homeland and say, hey, I'm Jamaican, and where you was born over here in America. But let his parents be from Jamaica, come over here in America and have a child, and then they go back to Jamaica with them. That child ain't gonna get accepted by them over there. They're gonna look at them like, nigga, you ain't from over here. You ain't like us. Like, who in the hell no? Get from over here, Yankee. Call them all types of crazy names because they look at him like you an American, even though they clearly see this is a Jamaican brother. But nigga, you an American because why? You come over here, you talk about fried chicken, you know nothing about sugar cane, you wearing these sneakers everywhere you go. You know, it's crazy to them. Like the certain stuff that they do, they like, my nigga, you live in Babylon, you love it there? Telling a Jamaican that you love America is like, they would tell you, nigga, you love Babylon? You're gonna be like, what, Babylon?
Right.
Nigga, that's Babylon. Man, this nigga ain't Jamaican. Get him out of here. Man, hey, they gonna give you a coconut. Hey, crack this open. See what you gonna do with it. I mean, they gonna know for sure you 100% blood running through your veins, Jamaican, but you was born in America, and they gonna frown upon you because of that. I mean, that happens. Is there any more on that?
Nah, sir.
All right, let me get Acts 11, and we're gonna start at 19. Isaac, give me Acts 11 and 19. Kaladazar, while you got the Bible Compact Dictionary, look up the word Grecians for me.
Grecians?
Mm-hmm.
Come.
Grecians.
Come.
Look up the word Grecians. Yep, Acts 11 and 20. Grab that. No, start at 19.
Acts chapter 11, verse 19.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could go. You can read.
Acts chapter 11, verse 19. Now they which were scattered abroad upon the persecution that arose about Stephen, traveled as far as the Phenice in Cyprus, in Antioch, preaching the word to none but unto the Jews only.
Now that's preaching the word of Christ or the word of God unto the Jews only. Read.
Verse 20. And some of them were men of Cyprus and Cyrene, which, when they were come to Antioch, spake unto the Grecians.
Now, some of the men that they were speaking the word unto was from these places, and they speak, and they was from Cyprus, and they was from Antioch, and he says, "Speak unto the Grecians." Read.
Preaching the Lord Jesus.
Now he's telling them, go speak unto all these people, and speak unto the Grecians too. Preach the word of the Lord Jesus. Read on.
Verse 21. And the hand of the Lord was with them.
And the hand of the Lord was with them. Read.
And a great number believed and turned unto the Lord.
Right, and a great number of who believed? A great number of who believed that turned to the Lord. Al-Izar?
The Grecians?
Yep. So a great number of the Grecians believed the word that was preached unto them and turned unto the Lord. Read on.
And turned unto the Lord. Verse 22. The tidings of these things came unto the ears of the church, which was in Jerusalem. And they sent for Barnabas that he should go as far as Antioch.
So even way in Jerusalem, they heard what was happening. They heard, they going to these brothers, a bunch of the brothers that was in Antioch and that was Grecian. They was hearing the word of Christ and they was turning unto the Lord. Now, let's see who these Grecians are. You got the definition?
Come. This is the Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary. Word Greece, Grecia, or Grecians. Grecia is Greece, the home of the Hellenes.
The Hellenists, yep. Hellenists, yep.
Greeks and Grecians, however, are to be distinguished.
Now, the Greeks and the Grecians are to be distinguished. Now, Grecian is a person that's a native of the land, a person that's a native of the land Greece, which would where the Greeks come from, right? So if you was a native of the land, then they would call you a Grecian or a Greece, or Greek would be considered a Grecian or whatnot because that's where he's from. But this word, they made it a distinguish. A distinguish meaning what? A difference between a Greek and a Grecian. Read. You.
Come. Greeks are generally those of Hellenic race.
The Greeks are those of generally those of Hellenist race. Read.
But the word may be used to indicate non-Jews.
But the word may be used to indicate non-Jews. Read.
Foreigners and aliens. So, the word may be used to indicate non-Jews, foreigners, and aliens.
Now, non-Jews, foreigners, and aliens, meaning anybody that's not from this land that comes now to live in this land, may be considered a Grecian. Go ahead, read.
Grecians were Greek-speaking Jews.
These Grecians that they talking about is just Greek-speaking Jews. That's why they call them Grecians, because they was just Jews that knew how to speak Greek. Read.
Folk of the dispersion from areas predominantly Greek.
Now, they was dispersed from areas that was predominantly Greek. So these Jews that speak in Greek, when you find out where they came from areas that was dominated by the Greeks. That's why they speak Greek. That's the only reason why they speak it. Where they grew up at, the Greeks ruled. And because where they grew up at, the Greeks ruled, they speak Greek.
Right.
Now, what comes with that? If you meet them and they speak Greek, 9 times out of 10, what comes with that? They keep in the laws what they was taught of the Greeks. Like I tell you in the Apocrypha. They wanted to build stadiums and everything and keep the traditions of the Greeks.
Right.
It was the Jews that wanted to do that. Like all the gymnasiums and stadiums that we have in the sports, it came from the Jews wanting to do that, keep the traditions of the Greeks. So because of that, they started calling the Jews Greeks. They was just Jews that just spoke Greek because where they came from was dominated by the Greeks. And that's it. Is there any more? I am Muslim Christ. Was that it? Was there any more questions?
Sir.
All right, no questions. I bet no questions in the room. All right, let me get I just had it. I take Leviticus. Hold on. Leviticus. I gotta look this up. All right, hold on. All right, Leviticus 23 and 27.
Come. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 27. Also, on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement.
Mm-hmm.
It shall be an holy convocation unto you,
Matter of fact.
and ye shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord Yahweh.
Do me a favor. Could you read this, Sean? The 5th paragraph.
Which paragraph?
Right there. It got the number 5 next to it. Number next to it.
God.
Right. What we going into right now is the month of Ramadan, right, and where they get it from, and the whole purpose of it.
God. This is the Babylon from Babylon to Timbuktu.
Mm-hmm.
Page 48. Islam and Judaism paragraph. The Prophet Muhammad adopted many principles and laws from the Jewish religion. First of all, the basic idea of monotheism, which is the belief in one God. The Jewish confession of the unity of God is Shema Israel Adonai Allah Eloheinu Adonai Ehad, which means, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one." The Muhammadan slogan is as follows: La ilaha illa Allah, Muhammad Rasul Allah. There is no God, which means there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the prophet of Allah.
Mm-hmm.
Second paragraph.
Hold on. I don't even know why I'm even acknowledging this. Could you hit me up with some strong? I seen Patty Ann that just typed in the chat. Have you seen that? You seen how Isaac?
I didn't even bring it up. Do you want me to read it up?
Nah, she's retarded. Because when you click the link, it's your page. Not your page, but it's whoever page who click on it.
Okay.
Like if I click on it, you click on it, you click on it, she click on it, it's page gonna pop up. Somebody playing like that's retarded, man. And more than likely it's somebody from another Israelite group that play games like that. I don't that's retarded. That is funny. Yo, they is crazy. Uh-huh.
I went downtown. I did see another Hebrew Israelite group down there teaching.
Yeah, they be down there. I think it's a few of them. It's a few groups. And this is when I went on the page, it was a bunch of Edomites and they just don't have nothing better to do. I got back with my ex and we're happy living together. If you're facing a similar problem, contact him and get your broken relationship restored.
Talking about love spells.
Retarded. And it literally be them. Like it be them behind fake pages doing stuff like this. Like it's crazy.
Right.
Oh wow. Oh no, Salakia. I got this stuff in the bag.
Oh.
Yeah. You can sit that on the table, just switch the cup so you ain't gotta dump it back out. Oh, and this too. Can you give me some of the tonic water?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the tonic water in the number cup. What's this?
That's just regular water. Mixing the tonic water with it?
Nah, just pour the tonic water in there. The water. I usually have it set out, so lock you. All right, so until he get back, to finish off that, let me see, no questions in the room, right? Yep. That's it. Are you holding something for me? Or you read it already? All right, give me Isaiah 58:3. Hold that. So when he done this, we can get into we can read this, right? Because like I said, we in a month of Ramadan, everybody fasting. All the sins that they are allowed to commit.
Isaiah
58 and 3. They can't do it during the month of Ramadan. And what they doing is really not fasting. You know, for them to supposedly follow the Bible or believe in the Bible in some way, or even believe in the first 5 books of Moses, they still, they still don't even do that. I know what I was looking for now. Yeah. Oh, he was reading it, matter of fact. Yep, he was reading it. Yep. All right. Yeah, whole Isaiah 58 and 3. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that next. You know, the whole misconception of fasting, you know, which I never understood. Man, I remember, and I tell this story damn near every year throughout that I remember years ago. I was with this brother in the world, and he was a Muslim. And we walking down the street, and he had Reese cup. He taking a bite of Reese cup, he chewing it, and he going like, and just spitting it out. And I'm like, yo, if you're gonna waste a Reese cup, give him to me. Like, that's my favorite snack. What are you doing? He like, oh no, I'm fasting. And I'm like, you fasting? He like, yeah, I just can't swallow it. If I eat this and swallow it, it don't count. I mean, it counts as I broke my fast, but it don't count if I eat it and just spit it out. Yo, he had like 4 packs of the big Reese cups just walking down the street, like, just spitting, and I'm sitting there like, yo, he wasting that. That's my favorite snack, and this nigga sitting here wasting it. And I didn't understand it. Like when he said it to me at the time, I'm like, oh, all right, cool. But as you know, I came into the truth and time went on, I'm looking like, yo, he was fasting and he's biting the goddamn Reese cup, he's chewing it, but he's spitting it out and saying, I'm just not swallowing it. Right. And he like, and then he made a comment, he was like, man, I hope my dad don't pull up, man, because he gonna kill me. And I'm sitting there like, so why are you doing it then? If that's cool, your dad shouldn't have no problem with you doing it. Right. Like now you just finding ways to get around, you know, eating. Like, and it's in the middle of the day. You ain't got enough self-discipline to wait like 4 more hours until you can eat. Like you just walk in the store, you see some Reese cups. First of all, he steals it. We in the gas station, he just steal it. You know, like I said, I was in the world at the time. We was all in there stealing. Right. He come out with the goddamn Reese cup, and he got like 4 packs, and he walking down the street, he just chewing it and spitting it out. And it's just like, yo, he would do that throughout the whole month I would see him. And I'm like, now that I think back, like, yo, that's not fasting. Like, he compromised. Like, I done literally seen some of them pour water in their mouth, gargle it, spit it out, and be like, I didn't swallow it, so it don't count. Right. But the Quran actually forgives you for stuff like that. Like, Allah wouldn't hold that against you if you do something like that. And I'm sitting there like, oh, nigga, that's cheating. Right. You can't do that. Like I wish that's why we say when the Day of Atonement come around, it's like, yo, you can brush your teeth. Use the water to brush your teeth. We ain't saying you can't brush your teeth. Just don't be all extra with it. Right. You know, you brushing your teeth, you taking 20, 30 minutes extra, and you getting every little drop that you can slide down the back of your goddamn throat. You drinking the toothpaste and all that with the water. Like, nah, just get in there, do your regular routine, and get out. You know when you're being extra. I mean, so that's why we say, but go ahead. Yeah, Gina.
I was gonna say, yeah, fasting is not as easy as you may think.
Fasting is not supposed to be easy. Like, you can fast with anything. Some people fast with, you know, giving up certain things, going a certain time without doing certain things. Couples fast or whatnot. You know, yeah, we gotta get our head together. So this is what we gonna give up so we can, you know, become strong. I done heard some fasts that happened in the school that was crazy. Like, we do the Day of Atonement, what, one day? I done heard the generals did the Day of Atonement for like quite some time. I'll be dead if I do that. So I can't go that long. Y'all got it. But that's why they generals. I mean, so fasting is supposed to, it's like I said, it's supposed to hurt. I mean, I'm fasting. What you fasting from? I'm not gonna be on my social media for 24 hours. Okay. Nobody don't like your pictures anyway. What the hell you care? Ain't nobody on your goddamn page anyway. So that don't matter. That don't hurt. Like fasting is something that's supposed to where you're gonna feel from it. Now, everything the Lord's do, when you sacrifice, you supposed to, when you giving up something or paying something back, you supposed to feel it or whatnot. But Muslims is like they do. And matter of fact, did you finish reading the Babylon of Timbuktu? I think it was a particular part that I wanted you to read where it said he adopted the customs of the Jews and it went into the Day of Atonement.
That's I believe I read that part. He adopted the custom of the Jews. That's in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
In the second paragraph, it's talking about Muhammad adopted also the main details of the Jewish calendar.
And do it go into the Day of Atonement?
All
right, that you can answer the door and then we're gonna get into that. Because they got the Day of Atonement from us, and they turn it into what we now know as today as Ramadan. Right? The reason it's 30 days, they fast for that long, is because Muhammad knew the Jews fast for 24 hours. But he wanted his people to be better than the Jews. So he know his people fasting for 24 hours is not good enough. But then again, he can't have them fast for 30 days because the human body can go 3 days without water. And I forgot how, like a few weeks without food. So he knows it's just like to go without water and food for 30 days is impossible. So he kind of did it 30 days and kind of switched it up. All right, we're going to do it for 30 days, but it's going to be sundown to sundown, which is, it makes no sense because just like I said in the beginning, right? Your body starts to adapt to how you eat and the changes into it, which is why if you ever talk to a person that do intermittent fasting, in the beginning, they'll tell you, hey, it was rough. Hey, Sean, where's the style? Look at find that cover. Look at that. I see y'all coming around with these covers and all that. Like, man, most are Christ. But if you talk to a person, they say, yo, it's rough to do in the beginning, but as time went on, it's very easy for them to deal with. Right. So Muhammad got you fasting for 30 days, sundown to sundown. Honestly, that's not nothing. Like, I done did that, when I start a new slave or something and I'm doing that probation period and not trying to slip up or something and I'm, not taking my breaks because I'm just trying to do everything I can and I'm not eating for goddamn by the time I get up to the time I get off or, or go home or something. Yes, sir. So the amount of time they fast, like that's like, come on, man. Right. How is that like that? It's just crazy to me as I sit there and think about it. Like, how is that fasting? Like, you're doing 30 days of not eating for 12 hours, right? Or drinking. I would say about the 15th day, how is like, it's just ridiculous to me. By the time the 15th day come, is what, you still suffering? Like, no, you is cool. Your body adjusted to it. You shouldn't give your body that much time to do anything like that because it's just going to adjust to it. Your body is used to not eating for 12 hours a day, so you waking up and going about your day like it's nothing. You happy. Like, what? A Day of Atonement, I am miserable, especially when I have to slave. I'm in that joint like, yo, nobody better not say nothing to me. Right. Don't ask me to do nothing extra. I don't care. I don't even know why I came in today. Right. I should have called out. I'm gonna just get through this day. Of course, I'm not in there like, oh my God, I'm hungry. Oh, why you hungry? Oh, because I'm fasting. Like how the Muslims do. They gotta know, they gotta let everybody know that they fasting and all that. But like I said, it is not afflicting their soul by doing, what they doing, right? But it is a way how you afflict your soul. Read that part for me, Baba Kishore.
Come on. This is in the book of From Babylon to Timbuktu, page 48 at the bottom. Muhammad adopted also the main details of the Jewish calendar.
Yep.
The Day of the Atonement, the Sabbath, much of the Bible, and narratives from the Midrash.
Now, he adopted the Day of Atonement and the Sabbath. Why is it saying the Sabbath? Because you got to go to the masjid on Friday, and they know Sabbath start Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. And instead of, at the time, they was going to church on Sunday. Instead of him doing that, he just said, yeah, we're going to adopt the, go to the masjid on the Day of the Jews, which was Friday sundown, Saturday sundown. And then he also adopts some of our customs, which was the Day of Atonement. That's one of the customs he took. Why? Because he seen what fasting did for us. And then you could go all through our descriptions and find the other prophets that fast, it helps. Fasting helps. It does something to you. Like some prophets fast for a certain amount of, if they had a question, that they needed an answer from the Lord, they would fast. And the Lord would give them the answer, but they was required to fast a certain amount of time. So fasting came with, benefits, at some point in time, right? And Muhammad seen that. He seen how we, benefited off of fasting. So he adopted the Day of Atonement. So when he adopted the Day of Atonement, he said, look, we ain't going to fast for 24 hours like they do. We're going to fast for 30 days. But sundown to sundown, we're not going to eat. Right? So sundown to sundown, we're not going to eat, because our sundown to sundown the next day was our fasting. He just said sundown to sundown for the same day. So it's just ridiculous. Read on.
Come. And narratives from the Midrash and many points of the ritual law. Incidentally, the Jews prayed 3 times a day facing the city of Jerusalem.
Now, one of the customs, the Jews prayed 3 times a day. And when they prayed, they faced the city of Jerusalem. He's seen that. So this is just going into some of the customs that he's seen and he took. Read on.
And the Muslims, true believers, pray 5 times a day facing the city of Mecca.
Muhammad was like, nah, we can't do 3. We got to do more.
Right.
We holier. So now we're going to pray. Instead of 3, we're going to pray 5 times a day. And we're not going to face Jerusalem. We're going to face Mecca. That's what we're going to do. We ain't going to face their city. We're going to face Mecca. Why? We face their city, we're going to look like we copying, and we're going to look like we worshiping their God when we got our own God. Damn, I gave y'all the Day of Atonement. We're not going to call it Atonement. We're going to call it Ramadan. I mean, and we ain't going to fast for that 24 hours. What we're going to do is we're going to fast for 30 days. But it's going to be sundown to sundown. That's what we're going to do. No eating and drinking. And in that process of that 30 days, you got to, they give you a list to do something. Read on.
Oh, God. Trying his best, Muhammad sought to convert the Jews to his new religion, but to no avail. He
tried to convert them to believe this bullcrap. He tried to convert them to instead of praying to Jerusalem, we're going to pray to Mecca. He tried to convert them to, instead of doing the Day of Atonement, do Ramadan. And they looking like, what? Nigga, you was a goddamn cab driver. Who the hell you telling me about what you know, nigga?
Right.
You telling me a story I told you. You trying to convince me of something that I didn't told you? I didn't set and got a ride from you. I sat in your Uber telling you about my goddamn, religion, and then you come back, weeks later, years later, telling me about this religion you built, and it sounds like mine.
Right.
Nah, but it ain't like yours. Cause see, yours you fast for 1 day, we fast for 30. Nigga, get the hell out of here, man. I'm 1 star. You getting 1 star, nigga.
Right.
You getting 1 star now. Matter of fact, let me hold on, let me see. Is there any more?
I can jump down to this one thing.
All right, Bubba Kashaw.
It says Muhammad tried to construct his religion as closely as he could after the Jewish religion.
Mm-hmm.
He favored the Jews by accepting many of their laws and traditions. When the Jews refused to be converted, he commanded his followers to stop turning to the holy city of Jerusalem in prayer, but rather to turn to the city of Mecca.
Now, when he realized that the Jews wasn't falling for the BS that he was talking, he said, all right, hey, look, everybody stop praying towards Mecca. Everybody stop praying towards Jerusalem. Everybody start praying towards Mecca, right? Let me get Galatians 4:25.
Oh,
Matter of fact, start at 24.
come on. The book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 24. Which things are an allegory? For these are the 2 covenants, the one from the Mount Sinai, which gendereth to bondage, which is a guard.
What does it mean? It say which things are an allegory? What does it mean? What is an allegory? Who know what an allegory is? Anybody know? Let's look it up.
An allegory, a noun, is a story, poem, or a picture that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning, typically a moral or political one.
Right. Allegory is something that's a story you could tell, but there got a meaning in it. It's something. It might mean something. So you tell an allegory. Meaning this is you telling a story, but the story might mean something. It might have something in it that it means something, but people just might think it's just a story, but really it means something. That's an allegory. Now the allegory was the 2 covenants. Let's read verse 25.
It's Galatians chapter 4, verse 25. For this Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia.
Now hold on. Who know what the allegory was? It was 2 allegories. Who know what it was? Who know what it was? Who know what it was? The allegory that you're talking about. The story that he was telling that had a meaning to it. And the meaning, right, is found in the Old Testament, and they bringing it up now. Let's read verse 22. Let's start from 22.
Verse 22. For it is written that Abraham had 2 sons.
Abraham, this is the allegory. It was written. Abraham had 2 sons, right? This is the story he about to tell. Abraham had 2 sons. Read.
The one by a bondmaid.
One by a bondmaid. One by a woman that was his servant, that was working for him. Read.
The other by a free woman.
The other one was by a woman who was free. She wasn't a servant. She wasn't working for him. Now, the bondwoman, gave him children. Who was the bondwoman that gave him children? Who was the bondwoman?
Israelite sister.
Nope. The bondwoman, right? Abraham. Go ahead. Yep. Hagar, which is Ishmael's mother. She was the bondwoman that gave him Ishmael, right? So who was the okay, so it was obvious. So she gave him Ishmael. She was the bondwoman. The other one, which was the free woman, gave him Isaac. Right? So this is the allegory. So it was two things. One gave him a bondwoman, one gave him a free woman. I mean, one gave him Salaki. One was a bondwoman, one was a free woman. One gave him Ishmael, one gave him Isaac, who became the father of the nation of Israel. Right? So read on. Or the grandfather. Read on.
Verse 23. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh.
Now, the one that was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, right? Meaning this is an allegory. This is a story that's being told, but it means something, right? The one that was born after the bondwoman was born after the flesh. Now, peep this. Read.
But he of the free woman was by promise.
Now, the one that was born after the free woman was by promise. Meaning what? The one that was born after the flesh mean what?
The one that was born after the flesh was something that you wanted. Like wasn't ordained. It was just more so I want this and I'm gonna have it.
And why is that? Because now, why did they have, which is correct, right? Now, which would be Ishmael? What was the point of them having Ishmael?
Because at first Sarah didn't have children.
Right. Most High Christ. Sarah couldn't have children. So he went to her. He went to the bondwoman out of, well, she can't have children. Let me go to her. He ain't having enough faith at the time, really. So he went to the bondwoman like, yo, you going to be the one that bring forth the kid. But then he got her pregnant, and then Ishmael was here. But then the free woman was able to get pregnant, even though she was old. And that was the one that was born after the promise, meaning the Most High promised you to have the children, the chosen seed from this woman. She was so old that you didn't believe it. So you decided to have the promised seed from this bondwoman. But no, the promise wasn't coming from this bondwoman. Right. Just like the Lord promised it was going to come from this free woman. So guess what? You didn't got her knocked up for no goddamn reason. Right. Because you still going to get her knocked. This the one that's going to have the goddamn kids. Right. That one? Hell no. This the one right here. I mean, these children going to mean something. I mean, I'm going to definitely bless them and make them, princes on the earth. And I'm going to definitely bless them. I'm going to get them something nice. And I'm going to make sure you get them something nice. Right. But the people I want going to come from her. Right. I know she old. She older. She's a little older. I understand that. I see. But let me show you how this is done. I mean, so read on.
God. Verse 24. Which things are an allegory? For these are the two covenants. The one from the Mount Sinai, which gendereth to bondage, which is Agar.
Agar, which is Hagar, which is, Agar. Agar is Hagar in Greek.
Verse 25. For this Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia.
Now, Hagar comes from Mount Sinai in Arabia, which is them goddamn Ishmaelites. Right? Read on.
And answers to Jerusalem, which now is in bondage with her children.
Right. And Hagar in Arabia answered to Jerusalem, which now is in bondage with her children. Right? The children of Jerusalem is in, okay. Read it one more time.
Come on. For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia. Mm-hmm. And answer to Jerusalem.
Hagar in Arabia got an answer to Jerusalem. Read.
Which now is and is in bondage with her children.
Jerusalem is now is and is in bondage with her children, meaning the Israelites is in bondage in Jerusalem, and Mount Sinai or Hagar in Arabia got an answer to Jerusalem, right? But there's a thing to it. Read.
But Jerusalem, which is above, is free.
But Jerusalem, which is above, is free. Jerusalem is above Mount Sinai, and Jerusalem is free, right? Jerusalem is free. Read.
But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
And not only Jerusalem is free, Jerusalem is the mother of us all. Like the children, their children is in bondage, right? Under them, their children is in bondage, right? Because the mothers come from the bondwoman. But Jerusalem, that's where the free woman, children come from. And Jerusalem is the mother of us all. Now, this was an allegory. Why was this important? Because even back then they was talking this. The motherland is what? Africa. The motherland is what? Saudi Arabia. We got to turn to Mecca and pray. Turning to Mecca for what? Africa is what? The motherland. Why? Because you could trace a goddamn elephant bone back goddamn 8,000 years. Who gives a damn if elephants come from Africa? I don't care. It don't matter. If you think this elephant was born in Africa 8,000 years ago and you finding so many old things in Africa or whatnot, okay, whoop-de-doo. How was that the motherland? Life didn't start in Africa. That's what they think. Life started in Africa. Okay, all right. If that means something to you, then it means something to you. But Jerusalem is the mother of us all because life started in Jerusalem. How did life start in Jerusalem?
If I could, sir, that's so heavy. And that cuts like every Egyptologist because their whole argument is based on Africa, I can trace myself back to Egypt. But even when you do the history behind that, the only reason why Egypt had the little knowledge they did was because of that black man, Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
When you go back and messing his hand in all them different places, you have people of our lineage, our chosen generation that went to go teach them. So when it says, that Jerusalem is the mother of us all, like when the Lord made mankind, it started right there. Even though man did not just stay there, but that's where civilization began. And even civilization really began there because Adam was the first man in the truth, was the only man who had the knowledge of the Most High. So,
right.
And everybody on this earth is sent from Adam right now. So
yeah. Right. Like Adam and Eve, and where the truth started from, it started in the garden, which was Jerusalem. The garden was Jerusalem. That's where it was. Right. So that's where life and everything and civilization, that's where it comes from now. It comes from Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the mother of us all.
Right.
Like I said, if your argument is, 5,000-year-old elephant bones or something, then all right, cool, you can have that. I don't care. I don't care what kind of goddamn bones you find there. It don't mean nothing.
Right.
Or whatnot. So read on. Oh, was that was the end of verse 26, right?
Come.
All right, Allah Izar, read. Hold on, let me see. All right, was anybody holding Leviticus 23 and 8 and 28?
I get Leviticus 23 or 28.
All right, get that for me. Let me see. Yep, yeah, let's get Leviticus 23 and.
I saw it.
Mm-hmm. You got it?
You said Isaiah 58 and 3.
Yeah, hold that. We're gonna come to that next. I want to read Leviticus 23 and let's do 28 first.
Come God. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 28. And ye shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord Yahweh, your God.
Now, this is going into the Day of Atonement. The Day of Atonement, the Most High said you shouldn't do no work this day, for you should make an atonement unto him. Let's read.
Verse 29. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that day, in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people.
Now, the Day of Atonement is a day where we got to afflict our soul. And whatever soul that don't, afflict it, whatever person that don't afflict their soul is supposed to be cut off from amongst his people. Right? So the Day of Atonement is a day where you afflict your soul. How do you afflict your soul? Let's go to Isaiah 58.
Isaiah chapter 58, verse 3. Wherefore have we fasted?
Now, read the verse above. Let's read 2.
Verse 2. Yet they seek me daily, and delight to know my ways.
Now, these people, right? The house of Jacob, right? The Israelites, they seek me daily and they delight to know my ways. Like they try to search the Most High out and they want to know what the Most High want them to do. Read.
As a nation that did righteousness.
And they want to know his ways as if they're a nation that did righteousness. Read.
And forsook not the ordinance of their God.
And they didn't, forsake anything that the Lord told them to do. Whatever, high holy days they told them to keep, whatever traditions, the Lord told them to keep, they did not forsake anything. Read.
They asked of me the ordinances of justice.
Mm-hmm.
They take delight in approaching to God. Verse 3. Wherefore have we fasted, say they.
Read it again.
Wherefore have we fasted?
Now, they saying, look, wherefore have we fasted? Read.
Say they.
Say they. Read.
And thou seest not.
Now they asking the Most High a question, like, yo, wherefore we fasted? And you see us not? Like they asking them, yo, we fasted and you didn't see us fast? Read.
Wherefore have we afflicted our soul?
We fasted and we afflicted our souls. That's how you know afflicting your soul is fasting. Because they asking the Lord, like, yo, look, we fast and we afflicted our souls. Did you not see us do it? Read.
And thou takest no knowledge.
And you don't take no knowledge to what we're doing? Read.
Behold, in the day of your fast, ye find pleasure.
The Lord said, I see y'all fasting, but in the day of your fast, you find pleasure. Yes, like they asking the Lord a question. They like, yo, we fast and we're afflicting our souls. Do you not see us? And they like, yo, you don't take knowledge to you don't acknowledge us fasting. Like, do you not see us afflicting our soul? And the Lord say, I see y'all, but in the day of y'all fasting, y'all take pleasure. Read on.
And exact all your labors.
And exact all your labors. What is the Lord telling them? They want the Lord to acknowledge them for fasting, right? And they're wondering why when they fast, they're not getting what they're asking of, right? And they're in, things don't seem to be changing. And the Lord is like, because I see you fasting, but I still see you taking pleasure in your fast.
Right.
What is the Lord saying to them?
Like you're not doing it right.
You're not doing it right. Like you supposed to be fasting, but you eating the Reese cup and you chewing it and spitting it out. So you drinking water, you gargling it and spitting it out. So when danger come your way, how you expect me to help you? And when not only when I don't help you, your comeback is, Lord, why you didn't help me? I fast for what? I did all that fasting for what? So you really gonna ask the Lord, yo, you didn't acknowledge me even though I fast. Nigga, I seen you fast. But you was chewing food and then before you swallowed it, you just spit it out.
Right.
You got some people out there that's literally not eating and drinking at all. And they are miserable. They are going through it. Then we got you. Come on, my nigga. Go ahead, Kalatazar.
Brother has a question.
Mm-hmm.
He says, Salakia, sir, can you use the Old Testament punishment of being cut off from among his people to explain why Israelites were called Greeks and Gentiles?
Yeah. Why they was cut off amongst their people. Yeah. That's one way. They called him a Greek or a Gentile because if you get cut off, then you would be considered a heathen. Right? If you get kicked out, you would be considered a heathen. You ever get kicked out the nation, or if you ever get kicked out the school, you will be considered a heathen according to the Bible. Like the scriptures say, if you take a brother to counsel, you don't adhere to the counsel, then the counsel will go until the congregation. If you don't hear what the congregation got to say, then if the congregation agree that you was wrong and you still believe you wasn't wrong, you get kicked out. Like if you don't take heed to the council, cool. Let's go in front of everybody in the nation. So if everybody in the nation say you was wrong and you still don't take heed to it, you just get kicked out of school. There's no reason for you to be here. You don't believe in the goddamn council anyway. You was wrong. You know, and the council is 3 people. If they say you wrong and you don't take heed to it, you go in front of the nation. If 1,000 people say you wrong and you still don't believe it, you just kicked out, and the Lord say you treated as a heathen. Right? So yeah, you could use that. It's the same thing. I mean, once you kicked out the nation, they treat you as a heathen. So yeah, you can definitely use that, you know, Israel kicking people out, you know, as a precept to prove, you know, why as a precept to cutting people off what makes you a heathen. But go ahead. Oh, you can read on.
Oh, sure. Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast ye find pleasure,
Mm-hmm.
and exact all your labors. Verse 4, behold, ye fast for strife and debate,
Mm-hmm.
and to smite with the fist of wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
Ye shall not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high.
Like, yo, everything you fasting for is for something wicked. You ain't fasting to make your voice be heard on high. Like, you ain't fasting to make your voice, you know, for the Lord to hear your voice in your time of need. Everything you fasting for is for something goddamn evil. So for you to come and ask, you know, why you ain't being heard even though you fast, I see what you're doing. I see that you fasting from, you know, sundown to sundown. I mean, you fasting 12 hours a day, which is crazy, because by the time you break your fast, you ain't even hungry. You're thirsty. You still not hungry or thirsty. You just, you know, it's something. It's a game. It's a way for people to feel like that they're righteous when they really goddamn evil. Let me get Matthew 6:16. We could drop that. Let me get Matthew 6:16.
Come. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 16. Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites.
The Lord said, when you fast, don't be like the hypocrites. Now, he is going to explain how you can fast and be like hypocrites. Read.
Of a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces.
The hypocrites disfigure their faces. When the hypocrite is fasting, how do they disfigure their faces?
They're going to be known that they suffering from not eating or drinking or whatever.
Mm-hmm. They sitting there like,
Right.
hey man, what's wrong with you? Man, I'm fasting, man. I'm doing this for God. And they like, man, I'm fasting, man. They happy all day at work, and then Ramadan come around, he like, nigga been fasting for 1 hour.
Right.
He been fasting from the time he woke up to the time he made it into work. Nigga been fasting for an hour or two, and he walking to work like, nigga walking to work, he don't even fast. Like, let's say if your slave give you breakfast and all that, nigga come into the slave all happy, ready to eat and all that, and then he get his day started to, get his job done. But the moment he fasting, let's say if the fasting started at 6, he got to be to work at 9 o'clock. By the time he get to work, he eating breakfast by 9:30. Now it's Ramadan. He got to be to work 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, he walking through the door like, they like, damn, something got to be wrong with him. He always come in happy.
Right.
He in that joint like, hey, what's wrong? Man, I'm he like, man, I'm fasting, man. They like, oh, damn, you fasting? Yeah, man, I'm Muslim. It's Ramadan. He gotta make it. Nigga ain't even hungry. He ain't hungry. He ain't thirsty. Nigga ate a big meal, drunk all the fluids he can 2 hours ago. Matter of fact, an hour ago, because he in the work parking lot before the sun go down. He watching the sun go down like stuff in his face. And then he walking the slave full and he quenched and hydrated. He walking there like, hey, y'all, I'm fasting. Or, Salaki, I've seen this happen at my job. Salaki. At my goddamn slave. This how we knew the boy was Muslim. The nigga walked in was like, it was like, I think I had a morning shift. I had to be there like 5:30 or something. I come there, it's 5:30 in the morning. We didn't start till like 6, but 5:30 we getting ready. About like 5:45, the nigga gonna say, he gonna say, oh yeah, I'm just letting all y'all know, right? It's Ramadan and I'm fasting, so don't offer me nothing to eat or drink, all right? And we like, when do we ever? Like nobody ever offer you anything to eat or drink. Like everybody looking at each other like, huh? And you can hear the people like, he just wanted us to know he fasting. Right. I'm sitting there like, did this? Like, nigga, I never offered, you could be talking to me because I never offered you anything to eat or drink. I don't, like, what? The hell? Like, he made it be known, like, oh yeah, just to let y'all know it's Ramadan, don't nobody offer me nothing to eat or drink. And everybody was like nobody said, all right, cool, we got you. Everybody was like, when do we ever though? Right. Nobody never offer you anything to eat or drink. That was his way of letting it known, like, so when you see him walking throughout the day, like, as you pass him throughout the day, mind you, I worked in a dietary. So we had to take the food up unto the patients and in the hospital. As he walking by with the cart full of food, I'm getting through, man. You see me? It's like, nigga, shut up. You 4 hours in, my nigga. You cannot be that tortured. If you are, I feel sorry for you, my nigga. I know within the next 10 days you're gonna be eating and drinking something. And we work in the food field. I know in that elevator you popping some of them tops, like nigga eating some of the fries and everything. I'm like, Like every time he walked past you, he had to say something about him suffering from fasting. And then I came to class one time and it was like, yo, the Day of Atonement coming up. You know, it's the fasting. Da, 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 da. Don't go to the slave acting like, you know, letting it be known that you fasting and making it a big deal. And I was like, and when they explained it, I'm like, I wanted to go back to the slave so bad and cut that nigga, but I knew that nigga, he was the type to get me fired. Soon as I cut him in the elevator, like, nigga, why you acting like you hungry? Nigga, you ain't hungry, nigga. Shut the hell up, nigga. I 24 hours. But I was like, he the type that's gonna get a nigga fired, so I ain't gonna say nothing to him. But as they explained it and everything, it was like, damn, okay, that makes so much sense. You know, he had to be known, he had to make it known that he was fasting. You a goddamn hypocrite.
Right.
Because you're not doing it for the right reasons or whatnot. Like a person ain't gonna ask, damn, what's up with you? Why you look like that? Oh nah, you know, long day, just got up, you know, got a long day ahead of me or something. You make an excuse for it. Like nobody at my slave could ever tell you they knew I was ever fasting. And I always worked on the Day of Atonement. I used to be pissed, like I'm gonna call out. But I needed something to do. Help the time go by. So it was like, yo, since it's gonna help the time go by, I'm gonna just go in and just deal with it. Nobody could ever tell you I ever fast. If anybody I ever slaved with, you would say, yo, have you ever seen Daniel fast? They gonna say, hell no. Never seen that nigga fast. Cause I never was in there. Oh no, I'm cool. I'm fasting. But the hypocrites do that. Read on.
Come. For they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to fast. Verily I say unto you.
They disfigure their faces. They doing that so they can appear to men to fast. So when somebody asks what's wrong, or even if a person know, oh, it's Ramadan, he looking like that because he a Muslim and he fasting, people might not even ask because they might just put two and two together. But you looking like you fasting. Read.
Come. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward.
They have their reward. Let them do that. Let them act like, you know, it's so hard to fast. Let them tell everybody that they fasting. They have their reward because little do they know. They're fasting and everybody know. You fasting and nobody knows. Nobody knows that you're fasting. They have their reward. I mean, what's their reward? Everybody is looking at them. Oh my God, you is so righteous. I couldn't fast. I couldn't do what you do. They have their reward. Read on.
Come. Verse 17. But thou, when thou fastest, anoint thine head.
When you fast, make sure you anoint your head. Read.
And wash thy face.
Make sure you go wash your face. This is where the Muslims get their joint from. You know, when they during Ramadan, they gotta wake up every morning, wash their face, wash their hands, clean behind it. They gotta wash up how you should do that goddamn every day, but they make it a priority to do it on Ramadan. But read.
Come, that thou appear not unto men to fast.
Make sure you look like on the day you fasting, make sure you appear to men that you ain't even fasting.
Right.
Make sure you look like it. Make sure a brother be like, damn, hey, yo, look, I just went to that school that you told me about last week, and I just realized y'all had a Day of Atonement that just passed. You was fasting? I mean, you was fasting at work last week? I could never know. You was the same person. You was the same, you hitting people with grapes and all that. You play too much, my nigga. I never could tell. You got to appear to them that you don't fast, even though you fast and read.
Come. But unto thy Father which is in secret.
Yeah, but fast to your Father which is in secret. Read.
And thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly.
Your Father going to see you fast in secret. He's going to reward you openly. There's going to be a reward that happen, and you going to know, oh, the Lord is doing, okay, I see. Oh, man. All right, that's it on the end of that, right?
Come.
All right, it ain't no questions in the room, right? No questions? All right, with that, pass the class off to Precinct Officer Kaladazar.
Y'all of the head. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We gotta start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the command of Benny Yohana. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher would arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment in the book of Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, which means tenth in Hebrew, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department, priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like, upcoming holy convocations.
We in the feast of unleavened bread.
We in the feast of unleavened bread, Shalaki, and remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, headband, and scarf. With that being said, the brothers, Imagine, which means to stand. We're going to give the brothers one courteous salute. Imagine Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Barakatah. Y'all the top, sorry, we're going to turn and face the sisters. Sisters Imagine. You're going to stand in Imagine with your feet 40 degrees and your hands like this. All right. Brothers, we're going to give the sisters one courteous salute. Imagine Shabbat, Imagine, Barak,
Yahweh Shema Atah Hashem Yahushua.
Y'all to the top, class is lit.
45 degrees.
45?
45. You know how many times I read that, John?